That skill presents equivalent fractions. Let's say we have a circular pizza and you want to eat exactly half of this pizza. So you take out a knife and cut this pizza into two equal halves. If you eat this portion, or the other one for that matter, you would have eaten half of the pizza. Now let's say a pizza of the same size has been already cut into 4 equal pieces. And you still want to eat half of the pizza. So you are going to eat 2 of these slices. And that can be any 2. Let me say this and this. So what fraction of this pizza have you eaten? Or what fraction of this pizza is shaded? It's 2/4. But if you look at the shaded portion, it's pretty obvious that you have eaten half of this pizza. And therefore, we could conclude that 1/2 is the same as 2/4. What is the relationship between this fraction and this fraction? Well, all we have done is, we have multiplied 1 with 2 and 2 with 2. 1 times 2 is 2, 2 times 2 is 4. And as because these two fractions 1/2 and 2/4 represent the same part of the whole, they are called equivalent fractions. They are essentially equal to each other. And given a fraction, you can always find its equivalent fraction by multiplying the numerator and the denominator with the same number. So if you did a 1 times 3 and a 2 times 3, you would get a 3 on the top, 6 on the bottom, and that would be the same as 1/2. Any fraction in which the denominator is exactly 2 times the numerator is equivalent to the fraction 1/2. And this isn't just true for 1/2, this is true for every other fraction. For example, if I were to give you the fraction 3/5 and told you, okay, this is equivalent to another fraction that has got a 15 on the bottom, can you tell me what is the number on the top? What is the numerator? So all you have to do is figure out that, okay, I have a 5, it changes to a 15. That means I must have multiplied the 5 with a 3. And therefore, I have to do the same on the top. Times 3 with 3, and therefore this number is 9. The fraction 9/15 is exactly equal to the fraction 3/5. They're equivalent fractions. Here's another one. 2/3 or 2/3 is equal to something over 12. I want you to find out this numerator. And that's not all. And that is equivalent to, let's say, 16 over something. So I want you to find this numerator and this denominator out. And the starting point is to figure out that, okay, the 3 has been changed to a 12, therefore it must have been multiplied with 4. Therefore, to get this numerator, you multiply 2 with 4, and that is 8. 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. And in the same way, if you look at this 2 and the 16, we must have multiplied 2 with 8 to get to 16. 2 times 8 is 16. Therefore, to get the denominator, we need to multiply 3 with 8 as well. And 3 times 8 is 24. 2/3, 8/12, 16/24, they are all equivalent fractions. As you can probably understand, there's an infinite number of equivalent fractions to a given fraction. You pick a number to multiply the numerator and denominator, and you get an equivalent fraction. The idea of equivalent fractions can actually be also used to compare fractions, figure out which fraction is more and which fraction is less. Let's say you want to compare the fractions 2/3 with 3/4. Sometimes it's hard to tell by just looking at the fractions. So all you want to do is change the two denominators to the same number. Essentially a common multiple of the two denominators, and the least common multiple is the best choice. The least common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. So you want to change 2/3 to something over 12 and 3/4 to something over 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Therefore you want to multiply 2 with 4. And that's 8. Similarly, 4 times 3 is 12. And therefore you want to do a 3 times 3. So this is 9. So essentially the fraction 2/3 and the fraction 8/12 are the same. So if you want to compare 2/3, you can replace that with 8/12 with the equivalent fraction of 3/4, which is 9/12. Now that the two fractions are on the same denominator, it's very easy to compare them. Think about a pizza. If you cut it into 12 equal pieces, would you rather have 8 pieces or 9 pieces? Assuming you love to eat that pizza, you would obviously want to have 9 pieces, right? And therefore 9/12 is larger than 8/12. That's one way how you can compare fractions.